the company was formed, as I said, on this idea of igniting and satisfying curiosity. And as we have been on this mission for 30 years and evolved from this one-channel portfolio to multi-channel portfolio, we still try to stay true to that mission. And I think the thing is, when you overlay our mission with what's going on in the media space today, which is truly after, when you think of the advent of television, almost 80, 90 years ago to basically the mid-90s, television evolved, but mostly through things like from black and white to color, from color at a standard definition to high definition. It got better and it improved, but it didn't really revolutionize. And we're right now going through a period where it is truly revolutionary. And the idea that, in the end, this device is now becoming more and more of a video consumption device, and every rectangle that's getting produced, no matter what the size is increasingly about sight, sound, and motion. It is truly a revolution where we're no longer talking about the 100 million cable and satellite homes in the United States, or roughly the billion cable and satellite homes around the world, but we're talking about 10 billion devices that are actually video accessible. And so trying to figure out how we take our model and migrate it out of just being a traditional linear television world, and you look at the Netflixes of the world, the Amazons of the world, obviously the YouTubes, the Facebooks. There's never been an age of video content as rich and as democratized as today. That's great for consumers on the one hand. On the other hand, it's infinite choice, which is also somewhat overwhelming for consumers. And so we try and make sure that we still think our brands, and the brands that actually stand for something, can help us navigate this world of infinite choice. But as this world of infinite choice has evolved, and the business models around who's willing to pay for what and what's free versus what's being paid for, it does create a lot of challenges, which we're trying to obviously migrate and address. In addition to moving from one screen in terms of traditional television to multi-screen, we are trying to migrate the business from a traditional pay TV business to adapt to new forms of consumption that are mobile, ad-supported. And so there's a lot of change going on. And I think the thing that we spend a lot of time from a team perspective, and we have, just to give you a scale, so the company has about 6,000 employees, about 4,000 of those are in my world outside the US. And we try and sort of focus the organization on, in this period of massive change, where the landscape is every day coming up with new competitors, new changes. The one thing that we have to understand is how to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that concept of comfortable being uncomfortable is one that I'd say SYA does a really good job of forcing you into. And I think the combination of the mission of discovery and this concept of an industry that I'm now in and have been for the last 15, 16 years, that is going through massive transformation. I see in all the people I work with, the ones that actually embrace the change, even if we don't have all the answers, which we don't, but embrace the idea of trying to figure it out and go to Barcelona or go to Rennes or go to the foreign country that they don't speak the language necessarily, they don't understand the culture, they don't understand the people, and put themselves in those positions and embrace that as an incredible learning opportunity, and feeling like I am actually going to take all the uncomfortable parts and learn from them and adapt and come out of it much richer and much stronger. That was obviously an incredibly formative experience for me. Growing up in a bicultural, my father's French, my mother's American, already was also a very formative experience in and of itself. But I think I look at the skills and the adaptation and the need to embrace and enjoy that feeling of discomfort as being critical, obviously a critical skill that I learned through SYA, but also a critical skill of just doing business in the world, certainly of the media business today, where every day we're being challenged by a new competitor, a new way of consuming content, a new person who's trying to kill our business in a different way. And there's a lot of people who sit there and go, oh, kind of cower and go away, and you can see it in profiles of the people that we deal with, the real leaders are the ones who are the ones who are most able to say, you know what, I'm not going to shy away from it, I'm not going to cower, I'm actually going to embrace it, and try and just figure it out brick by brick, day by day, in not a dissimilar way than when we first arrived in for our first day, and we're off for 4 days in Sitges, and you're sitting there going, who are these people, and what is this language, and who is this host family, and you know, it's completely new, and somehow you just have to adapt, and you take it day by day and step by step, and pretty much then you sort of realize, oh my God, I can actually figure this out. And so that's sort of a quick sort of overview of discovery and sort of the tie into SYA. And I'd say the last thing I'd say, I loved when I think about discovery and what we're trying to do in terms of taking the company forward to this, you know, multi-screen, non-linear world that media is moving towards quickly, is in that sort of feeling at times of people saying, I'm paralyzed, you know, I don't know what's going on, I can't figure it out, I know what the future is going to be, how's the business going to evolve. We try to sort of remind people, and there was a great quote of Einstein who said, it's not that I'm that much smarter, it's just that I spend more time with the problem. And I think that sort of element of we actually are trying to embrace the people who aren't going to sort of be too scared, but ultimately are just willing to spend more time and work on it harder, and brick by brick sort of piece it together. And I think those are skills that certainly SY was critical in sort of embodying in me and embodying in other people that I know who are on the program. So